Hey guys, Tattoo for you, Richard here, and it is Tuesday. It is time for an update on my Imperial House Krieger. Boom, boom, boom. This will be part 2, 3. Whatever part it says at the title of the screen is what part it is. So, anyway, we're going to go table down in a second, and I'm going to kind of show you where I'm at on things, as well as at the end of the video, like at the end of the update part of the models. At the end of the modeling portion, the next modeling portion, not this horrible one I just did, we're going to do a story time. Yes, I will read like the first little section of fluff for this. And I hope it works right. We'll see. We'll see. So anyway, this will be a little part 1 of the fluff too. So anyway, let's go table down and show you where I'm sitting at with the completion of this project. Finished, not perfect project. We can do this. Alright guys, here we are table down. I'm kind of holding this phone precariously, but so here's where I'm at. Okay, so here is my one completed figure. Now, I don't know how well you can see it. I have terrible lighting over here at the moment. I need a secondary light to show it, but so yeah, this is the completed figure I did a long time ago of the Crimson Guardsman. So I based him now. This is the Secret Weapon Miniatures alien bases. And what I did on it, it's hard to tell. You can't really see it. I'll get better pictures towards the end of the project when everything's all done. Here, hold on. Let's try that. It helps a little bit. Little camera with the phone light. But I did a wash on top of a wash on top of a glaze on top of a wash. I tried to make that look like a black marble, like a dark marble. I mean, it turned out okay, and then I went back with little white highlights and highlighted up some of the bits. Now, I did go ahead and, since the boots are going to be black on this, and I can work around that pretty easy, I went ahead and based everybody, but did the same thing on them, kind of made it look like the black marble. They're all 5 of these guys are on the Secret Weapon Miniature basing. So then you got the little bits of sand that have blown up on there. So that's just a little part of the Necron Temple, a Necron Temple that these guys were fighting on. And recently, I got, well, actually yesterday, I don't do a video on it because Commissar Gamza does this video. He's gets the Tabletop Monthly box set, and I had won their little contest and got a free box. And super awesome company, and they have rad stuff. I just couldn't afford it, but I forgot to cancel the subscription, so I've received like 2 boxes now, maybe 3. Actually, this might even be my 4th one, but I canceled my subscription. Nothing on their part. They're awesome. I'm just broke. But they sent me this stuff, and it's like it came with a little piece of terrain, and so I decked it out. Like, it didn't have Necron glyphs on it already. But this material, it looks like plasticard, but it's not. It's a really dense foam. It's like the thickness of an egg carton, like one of those foam egg cartons. And it's almost that texture too, but even more dense. Like if you took 10 of those egg cartons and smashed them all and compressed them all down into something that thick. And it's really sturdy. These details were already in it. I did a lot of flipping pieces around, so I had smooth edges, but I forgot to do it on a couple of these. But then I took a pen and I could draw into it, and that gave me the depth and gave me texture to it. So that's just marking on the top. Once I paint this, you won't see that. But I'll be able to go back in and put like a little green in there and the highlights and stuff, so that have these markings stand out a little bit more. I think it's going to be pretty cool. I really like it. The little package came with 2 different ones. There's this one, it was a little tomb. They even came with like these little wooden doors in here, but I decided I just put a piece of plastic card on the other side of it because I didn't want the wooden doors in there for the Necrons. But there's this one, and then there's like a taller tower one. So I'll probably build that later on today. But I want to use this for the for this whole campaign thing too. So anyway, yeah, prime these guys black. They're ready to go. I'm gonna start working on painting them today. Prime the figure that I'm using for my dad. Based him up. Primed them minus the little spots you see of white. Primed them and black bombed them. We'll start painting him soon. Picked up something on eBay since House Krieger's royal seal and emblem is the griffin. I figured what cooler thing to have but a pet griffin. So I thought that would be really rad. So here's a little pet griffin. I haven't named him yet. I may name him Rover. We'll see. And then I finished our Imperial Assassin. There he is, the Imperial Assassin. This is our House Assassin. There's going to be 2 House Assassins. One of them I actually scored on eBay for $5. I sold some stuff on eBay, and I was like, I'm going to buy this real quick since it's so cheap. But when it comes in, I'll show you what that will be. Well, actually, I'm not even going to show you. When it comes in, I'm going to build it, I'm going to paint it, and then it's going to go with these guys as part of the campaign that's going to be coming up. But yeah, he's based, ready to go. I haven't got into the fluff on the world that they live on yet. But besides it being Griffin Prime, that's the only thing I think I've ever told y'all. But I want it to be like grassy and really lush in areas. So I'll put this nice green grass, which is another thing I've got from one of those Tabletop Monthly boxes a while back. Oh, I covered up the name of it. But anyway, it was a little pack. I may have even showed this in a video before. But I like they have variants. They've got your smaller tufts up to some larger, more full tufts. They're self-adhesive, but anytime they say self-adhesive on these tufts, man, I still add a drop of a PVA glue or Elmer's glue. Because the self-adhesive, it's not going to stick proper to this. I have yet to have one that sticks permanently, which, come on guys, this is our hobby. We want things to be permanently on the basing. You want this guy to sit on a shelf, you're going to move him around, you're going to do stuff with him, and you'll pick him up, you're going to rub this grass. You want it to not come off, you know, except for little hairs that stick out weird like that, but you don't want this stuff to fall off. You want it to look just as good as it did the day you did it. You want to go in there and dust them with a little paintbrush, a little light dusting, feather dust them, so to speak. You want to make sure nothing falls off. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm making decent headway. Honestly, I'm probably, if I can stick at it, I'll be done with this little batch of figures by this weekend. I genuinely think I am. Because, I mean, the majority of the colors here, it's reds, and then this gray with the little gray highlights, and then whites, and then metallics. So, and, well, eyes, obviously, and stuff, but really that's it. I think the hardest figure to be painted next will be this guy, because there's just so much detail going on him. I mean, there's detail for days. But I'm also not going to bring, you know, all that detailing out. Like, a lot of this is probably going to be like metallic armoring and stuff like that, and just different things. Chest plate and stuff will probably be the house colors, the blues and the yellows, at least to match his Imperial Knight, since this is the one that I already have. This is my dad's character, and that Imperial Knight that I already have in yonder is his. So that's going to be that. Yeah, that's where I'm at on all these guys. So now we are going to skip over to story time. Guys, please bear with me. Like I said, I went a little crazy on writing these stories. Or it's not even writing a story, it's writing the fluff and stuff behind all this. So I honestly, I hope this turns out well. I think I've overhyped it a little bit, but also psyched myself out a lot about it. But anyway, guys, let's go and do this. Let's check this out. The Rise of House Krieger, Part 1. During the time of the Great Colonization, a wealthy scientist by the name of Otto von Krieger, who as a child dreamt and romanticized about space, had gathered all the people from his small village, named Griffin, and through his charismatic personality, his immense wealth, convinced them to grab their belongings, families, and friends, and look to the stars. His guarantee of happiness, prosperity, and as well as a few greased palms along the way, drew all to follow him into the clouds and beyond. After a few short weeks, Krieger's massive starship, known as the Keep, left Terra and into the vast darkness of space. For the first 2 years of the journey, a skeleton crew, including Krieger himself, monitored the cryostasis units of the genetically altered livestock, the 5,000 plus families, and the seed vaults that were on board. A massive terrarium was created to produce fresh water through condensation, which is filtered in storage tanks. All this work was for arrival in their new home world. Livestock, seed vaults, and water tanks ensured the survival of the colonists for at least the first 3 years. Once all projects were in working order, the STC systems were brought online to monitor and awaken the passengers when necessary. Otto was the last to enter a stasis and the first to awaken, so he could drink the beauty and the glory of his world. To be continued. Hey guys, here we are, back at me again. Yay! I hope you enjoyed that little story I did. I had a blast writing it, and like I said, it's not even done. That's just the part 1, so to speak, leading us up to our next step in the phase. Yeah, so I know I'm calling this House Krieger, Imperial House Krieger, but this is still part of that Finish Not Perfect challenge, you know, pushing me to get stuff done and hopefully inspiring you to chill and get work done. Nick's going to be having his get it painted thing, which is essentially, it's the same thing. It's like starting a project, getting on it, and getting after it, and getting it start to finish done. Getting your stuff painted that you may have lying around not painted. So, yeah, I'm going to jump right on that as soon as he kicks that off. So look for those videos coming up here in the next, well, he starts it around October, so that'll be coming around October time. This whole purpose of Finish Not Perfect, again, like I said, is to get work done, get stuff done. Projects that I've put off because I'm too afraid to do it. Drawings I've put off because I'm too afraid to the outcome of them. This all came to play again, but I want to make sure people understand his name, Jake Parker. You know, this wasn't my idea. This gentleman, you know, it's a mantra he lives by, and I enjoy it immensely, and it makes total sense to me. He just posted another video on his Facebook page, or at least it popped up in my newsfeed today, about your creative bank account. And it's another one that really, like, pushes my buttons. It really means a lot to me, too. It's all about your creativity, and all about how much you put into your... It's all about inspiring you. It's all about what you surround yourself with is what you are able to draw from and put out on your paper, on your miniatures, on everything, you know, anything you do, life in general too. Whatever you surround yourself with is going to affect you and what you put out, right? If that makes sense. So what he's saying is your creativity, if you're going to go and you're going to want to draw something, if you're not surrounding yourself with that type of artwork or that type of, like, this is sci-fi. You know, you love sci-fi, you love fantasy, you love things like that. Surround yourself with that. Reach out and put posters on your walls, read books, watch YouTube videos of others, who surround themselves with the hobby, just to help charge your creative battery, so to speak. Yeah, anyway, guys, I love you so much. Again, I thank you. I hope you enjoyed the story time. There'll be a few more coming. Boy, I'm umming it up this episode, ain't I? Woohoo, I'm malicious. Guys, I love you so much. Thank you for everything. Keep rocking that nerd life, my friends. I'll see you later.